My cousin stole the money I saved for my son's surgery and spent it on a vacation to Paris. I've been saving for 2 years. Every holiday shift, every weekend overtime, every spare dollar. I wasn't rich. I worked at a distribution warehouse outside Phoenix. Single dad. No frills, no extras. Just one goal, get my 7-year-old son, Miles, the surgery he needed to walk like a regular kid. He was born with a leg deformity. Not life-threatening, but it held him back. He limped, tired quickly, couldn't run with the other kids. Doctors said one procedure could change everything. I had $12,000 set aside in a dedicated savings account. I even let Miles help me check the balance sometimes. We dreamed together about baseball, hiking, him racing the other kids on the playground. And then it was gone. I didn't know it at first. Not until I saw an Instagram story from my cousin, Claire. She was holding up a glass of champagne on a flight. The caption, Paris, finally. My stomach sank. I recognized the designer luggage in the background. The same week, I noticed the savings account was suddenly empty. At first, I thought it had to be a mistake. Maybe a bank error. I checked the transfer history. It wasn't a mistake. A series of small withdrawals had been made over the past 10 days, just under the radar. Just enough that I wouldn't notice unless I checked every day. Altogether, it added up to the exact amount I'd saved. I tried to call Claire. No answer. I texted. Nothing. Then the stories kept coming: cafe croissants, Eiffel Tower selfies, luxury store tags, living my dream. Each one hit like a punch to the ribs. It didn't make sense. Claire had been living with my sister, Erin, for the last few months after she lost her job. She was around us all the time, playing with Miles, bringing him treats, asking questions, lots of questions, about his surgery, when it was scheduled, how we were paying for it, what bank I used. I thought she cared. Turns out, she cared enough to steal everything we had. I confronted Erin first. She was shocked. Said Claire told her she'd been saving up for the trip, that she'd gotten freelance work, even picked up a social media consulting gig. I showed her the account transfers. She used my Wi-Fi, my laptop, I told her. She knew my setup. She knew exactly how to access my stuff without setting off any red flags. Erin was horrified. But Claire still wasn't responding. That night, Miles held up a tiny Eiffel Tower keychain and said, "Look, Dad." Like where Claire is. She'd given it to him the week before. I nearly broke it in half. When she finally replied to my messages, it was on WhatsApp. Her profile picture was her sitting at a Paris cafe, croissant in hand. I asked her, directly, "Did you take the money from my account?" Her response? "Don't be dramatic. It's not like it's emergency surgery. He'll be fine. Kids heal fast. I needed this trip." She said that. She called it borrowing. She said she'd pay me back, eventually. Like my son's childhood was on layaway. I spent that night documenting everything. Screenshots, bank statements, messages. I wasn't letting this go. Claire thought being family meant she could do whatever she wanted. She was wrong. I called the bank. They opened an investigation, but warned me, since Claire had accessed my devices and my home network, it could get complicated. She'd been careful to make it look like the transfers came from me. The next morning, I called the hospital and canceled the surgery. The date was only a few weeks out. Miles had been marking the calendar with a red marker, counting down. I stared at the days and felt like I'd failed him. When I told Erin what happened, she broke down. She started helping me piece together a case. We flagged every post Claire made. She kept sharing like nothing was wrong. Shopping sprees. Rooftop bars. Paris at night. Each photo, each tag, was a receipt. Claire wasn't just spending, she was showing off. Every new photo felt like salt in a wound. One of her stories showed her placing a bill into a donation box at a church. The caption said, "Feeling blessed. Always give back." She used stolen money, my son's surgery money, and still had the audacity to act like some kind of saint. I muted her on social media. But Erin didn't. She kept sending screenshots, reminding me, "You need every piece of this. It's evidence now." And she was right. Somehow, the worst part wasn't even the theft. It was how a few people in the family started making excuses. "She's going through a tough time. She said she'll pay you back. Don't drag this into legal stuff. It's family." Family? That word started to feel like a joke. They acted like Miles would just grow out of his condition. Like losing that surgery spot didn't matter. Like Claire was the real victim because I was making it a big deal. But I'd had enough. Miles deserved better than eventually. And Claire wasn't even pretending to be sorry. She posted another story from a rooftop bar with a glass of wine in hand. The caption? "Living my best life. Sorry, not sorry." I stared at my phone and made a decision. I was going to the police. The next morning, I filed a report. The officer was polite but cautious. Since Claire had been in my home and had access to my devices, they said it might fall under civil jurisdiction. Translation: court, not jail. Still, I gave them everything, the bank statements, the screenshots, the messages. They took it all. It wasn't the result I wanted, but it was a start. Meanwhile, Claire's Paris adventure kept going like some low-budget influencer campaign. She even posted a luxury haul, handbags, new clothes, jewelry. In the background of one video, you could hear her bragging, new job, new image. Gotta look the part. That's when Aaron got curious and started digging. Turns out Claire had gotten a job, or at least a job offer, with a local finance firm. The position? Junior financial coordinator. As in, someone who'd handle money. Aaron found the job listing still live. It emphasized discretion, integrity, and high ethical standards. You couldn't make this stuff up. I sent the company an email. No drama. No rant. Just the facts, a list of public social media posts and a summary of the case. Screenshots attached. Links included. Claire lost the job within hours. She found out and showed up at my house that night furious. Screaming. Demanding to know why I would ruin her life. You ruined your own life, I told her. I just had sinned. Miles was terrified. He hid behind the couch while she shouted through the door. I called the police. Again. When they arrived, they recognized her from the theft report. They didn't arrest her, but they warned her not to return. It was enough to finally shake her parents. Until that moment, they defended her. Told me I was being harsh. Told me to be patient. But after the video, after the job loss, after seeing their daughter scream outside my house like a banshee, they changed their tune. Claire's dad called and said they'd help repay the money. It wouldn't be immediate, but they'd start monthly transfers. True to his word, the first payment arrived a few days later. Small, but real. Claire? She spiraled. She posted long, dramatic stories about being betrayed by family, about how no one understood her mental health, about how she was the victim. But no one was buying it anymore. Even people who once defended her started pulling back. She was losing friends. Her old college roommates unfollowed her. Some relatives stopped inviting her to things. And the final blow? Erin, my sister, her former roommate, got the job Claire lost. Yep, same position. Same company. Erin's been working there 2 weeks now. Claire found out. Showed up at the office. Threw a fit in the lobby. Security had to escort her out. She was issued a formal trespassing warning. After the job incident, Claire went quiet for a bit. We all thought maybe she'd finally gotten the message. She hadn't. The silence didn't mean reflection. It meant regrouping. She came back online a week later, spinning a new narrative. Long captions about toxic family members, healing, mental health, and choosing peace over drama. She even shared some cliché quote about letting go of those who don't clap for you. The comments were mixed. A few diehard friends left heart emojis. But more and more people were asking, weren't you the one who stole from your cousin's kid? Others dropped links to her old post from Paris, receipts that told the Betrayal story. Claire started deleting comments, then whole posts. Then she locked her profile. I didn't care. I had other things to focus on. Thanks to Erin's help, I met with a lawyer, someone who offered free initial consultations for civil cases. We reviewed everything. The bank records, the texts, even a spreadsheet Erin had built tracking Claire's spending and social posts. The lawyer's verdict was clear. We had a case. Strong enough to pursue Claire in small claims court. Strong enough to make it public if needed. The family? Split down the middle. Half of them still begged for peace. Said I was taking things too far. That suing family was unforgivable. The other half? They were just staying quiet. Afraid to pick a side. Except Erin. She never once wavered. She even had the perfect comeback for one of our aunts who said Claire was just going through a phase. A phase, Erin said, is coloring your hair blue or dating someone terrible for 3 months. It's not stealing a disabled kid's surgery fund. And that was that. The toughest day came when I had to cancel Miles' surgery reservation, officially. The hospital was understanding, but they had to release our spot. We were back on the waiting list. I'd waited to tell Miles. Hoped maybe something would change before I had to. But kids know. He saw the calendar was gone. Saw me pacing. And one night, after dinner, he asked softly, is it because cousin Claire needed the money more than me? I didn't know what to say. 7 years old, already learning that even people who say they love you can let you down. Meanwhile, Claire had started pushing her rebuild. Ark posted a selfie with the caption, new mindset, new me. But the real Claire showed up in a private text she sent me soon after. Look, I get you're mad. But you're making this bigger than it has to be. I'm not a thief. I'm just borrowing. Besides, kids bounce back. It's not like he's dying. That line. Kids bounce back. Like Miles' surgery was some optional upgrade. Like I should just relax and hope for the best. That was it. I told my lawyer to proceed. No more family negotiations. No more discussions. Then Claire posted a long Instagram story rant about haters, jealous relatives, and how not everyone wants to see you win. She included a fake story about how I had gambled away the surgery money and blamed her. Said Aaron had stolen from stores in college. Said our whole family was toxic. Nobody believed her. People remembered the Paris stories, the shopping hauls, the champagne flights, the rooftop bars. They remembered her holding up a glass of wine and saying, "Thanks to my cousin's savings account for making this trip possible." It was all public, all still out there. And then karma finally caught up, in a way I could never have predicted. Claire came back from Paris and threw a party. A Paris-themed dinner at her parents' place. She actually had the nerve to invite me and Miles. The invitation read, "Let's put all this drama behind us. Miles would love the souvenirs I brought." Souvenirs. Like a plastic Eiffel Tower could replace the $12,000 she stole. I didn't go. But Erin did. And she brought her phone. Claire was in full influencer mode, giving a slideshow of her trip, bragging about every luxury purchase. She even played a video on her iPad, her at a cafe, holding a glass of champagne and saying, "Shout out to my cousin's savings account for making this trip possible." Sorry, not sorry. Everyone laughed, except Erin, who recorded it all. Claire noticed and freaked out. Started yelling, "It was a joke. You're ruining the vibe." Erin sent me the video immediately. That was the turning point. Claire's parents finally saw it with their own eyes. Their daughter admitting, on video, that she stole from their own nephew and thought it was funny. They stopped defending her. Stopped making excuses. Instead, they started selling her stuff. The designer bags? Listed on eBay. The Paris wardrobe? Packed and posted on resale apps. Her access to bank accounts? Gone. Claire tried to stop them, claimed some items were gifts, others essential to her career. Her mom shut her down. Gifts bought with stolen money aren't gifts, she said. Money started trickling back. Small payments at first. Her dad set up recurring transfers directly to my account. Claire tried canceling them. Her parents overruled her. She was spiraling, posting stories about toxic family energy, mental health, and cutting off negativity. No one bought it anymore. Even her friends had distanced themselves. Her closest cousin unfollowed her. People whispered behind her back at family dinners. Claire was no longer the center of attention. She was the warning sign. Then came the job rejection spiral. Every time she applied somewhere, her name was searched. Her Paris posts popped up. Her own public bragging screenshots shared in every corner of the internet. The internet never forgets. One company even rescinded an offer after the interview. Claire blamed me, of course. Said I had ruined her future. I didn't ruin it. She hit post. I just kept the receipts. When she realized she couldn't undo what she'd done, she lost it. She showed up at her parents' house, screaming, demanding they fix everything. When they refused, she started grabbing her mom's things, shouting, "If you're going to sell mine, I'll sell yours." Her dad recorded the meltdown. Not to shame her, just for protection. The video showed Claire yelling, throwing things, trying to destroy anything she could reach. She even smashed a vase that belonged to our great-grandmother. Neighbors called the cops. Again, they didn't arrest her, but they told her flat out, "You're out of chances." Her parents finally did what they should have done a long time ago. They cut her off. No more money. No more car. No more emergency credit cards. The only thing they offered was therapy, and only if she took it seriously. Claire didn't handle it well. She started posting expose stories on social media, fake ones. Accused Erin of stealing. Accused me of gambling away the money. Claimed her parents had abused her. But people remembered the Paris posts. The bragging. The video. They didn't believe her anymore. The comments turned on her. Wasn't this the girl who stole from her cousin's disabled kid? Didn't she brag about it with champagne in hand? Now she wants sympathy? She tried deleting comments, but they kept coming. Then she posted a tearful video about being cyberbullied and taking a break. 10 minutes later, she was posting again on a backup account, asking if anyone had a spare room. Nobody offered. And then, the real moment of karma. The job Claire had originally applied for, the one she lost? Erin got it. Started last month. When Claire found out, she showed up to the office. Caused such a scene that security had to escort her out. She now has a trespassing warning. The final payment came last week. Her parents brought a check to cover the remainder of the stolen funds. Miles' surgery was back on the calendar. And Claire? She's sleeping on a friend's couch. Applying for jobs under a different name. Starting therapy, maybe. Her parents say they'll help with that, but nothing else. She sent me a text that said, "Hope you're happy. You turned everyone against me. I'll never forgive you." I didn't reply. I was too busy helping Miles pack his bag for the hospital. He looked up at me that night and said, "Dad, when I can run, I'm gonna run so fast that the bad stuff can't catch us. Run, kid. You've earned it."